What's up, guys? It's Will from Duelist. It has been quite some time. I get that many of you probably wonder where I've been. So, basically, long story short is that I graduated pharmacy school in May. I passed my pharmacy boards, and I'm now a practicing pharmacist. And so, that's a lot of fun. But I also went through 4 years of pharmacy school to determine that I didn't want to do that, and I'd rather pursue medicine. And so I actually took MCAT over the summer, as well as went back and took some prereqs. And I'm applying for fall 2020 and have my first medical school interview actually here in about a week. But the point of this video is not to do an update on my life. It's actually to talk about my last bit of Yu-Gi-Oh that I have. So when I moved out of my apartment, when I graduated pharmacy school, I pretty much said to myself, all right, it's time to finally ditch this hobby. I had way too many cards, everything like that, and I threw away, I kid you not, probably over 5,000 cards total, just because I had them all stockpiled underneath my bed at my apartment. But I held on to these ones, and if you're one who's been with the channel for a while, you'll remember that I have always been big on legacy decks. Blue Eyes White Dragon has always been my favorite monster. And so this binder is basically the last compilation of cards that I decided that I could not just throw away. So first things first is you got your OG Blue Eyes here. Blue Eyes was always my favorite monster. I love the started at Kaiba art. I never had a Dark Duel Stories, whatever, the secret rare, but I always wish I could have. Technically, I guess with the money I'm making now, I could buy one, but I'm not going to do that. But what I do have is this one, and we'll discuss if it was a fair trade. So this is a Retro Pack 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon. It's not first edition, but I've heard this thing is actually pretty darn valuable, and I actually got it from Christian from Low Rated Duelists. I traded a Charizard, like a back OG Charizard, for this card. And yeah, I've heard this thing has like $50 of value or something like that, but I've heard it's pretty rare. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, that's what I've heard. On this second page is pretty much alternatives, and then all the other arts of Blue Eyes. I believe I do have all the arts of Blue Eyes. This one is that Shonen Jump promo Blue Eyes. I don't know if it's very valuable or not, but I've always liked that it's got some signature. I'm not actually sure who that is, but I do like the art a lot of this one. On the right, I still have all the movie pack Blue Eyes alternatives. I actually have 6 copies. I haven't placed that because I would run them in Buster Blade or 2. But yeah. Sage, the higher rarity of Master, bunch of stones, and some hand traps. Back when I was running the Galaxy Soldier tech, I do have the super rare White Stone of Legends from Duelist Pack Kaiba. Got some melodies, some pots, banned Soul Charge, Raigeki cards consonants, some ultra trade-ins. I think I do have one secret trade-in too from the Legendary Collection. Bunch of Return of the Dragon Lords, Dragon Shrine. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I was just gonna go talk into basically some of the story behind a lot of these cards for me personally. And then if anybody wants to buy these, feel free to talk to me and I might just sell them. So, multiple copies of Blue Eye Spirit, Stardust Spark, Azure Eyes, Moonlight. As you can tell, this is pretty much all of my Blue Eyes deck. I had, so I used to love this card a lot, Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon. Back when I had a Blue Eyes deck when it was just Maiden, pretty much, I would run this guy a lot. Because he would negate monster effects on the field. And it's how I would get over Beals as a problem monster. Calamities, Secret Rare, Red Eyes Flood Metal Dragon. The cool thing about Red Eyes Flood Metal Dragon is I remember when I first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! It was the set where Red Eyes came in, I forgot the name, and I pulled a Ghost Rare, Red Eyes Flood Metal Dragon. And ended up trading it to my friend Christian from Low Rated Duelist. I forgot what I had traded it for. Maybe I just gave it to him. But it was such a cool card. And it was really hard to pull foils back then because that was before they were doing a foil in every pack. And I just remember when I pulled that Ghost Rare Red Eyes Flood Metal Dragon, I was like, whoa. 2 Draco Sack, 2 number 11, Naruto. I think now we're getting into my Dark Magician cards. No, we're just doing Xyz monsters. So Silent Honor Arc. Also, Noah from Loaded Duelists would always use this card on me. So back when we were first getting back into Yu-Gi-Oh, we always thought like certain cards were like OP. So I would run Beals. I had a Cyber Dragon deck, and I would run the Machina monsters in it. And so I'd always summon Machina Fortress, and I had the Unknown Synchron, and I would make Beals with it. And Noah would always out it with Silent Honor Arc. And that's when I found out about Silent Honor Arc. I was like, holy crap, that's a good card. And so I went out and I got a Silent Honor Arc and stuff like that. But and then I realized that Castel is just better. And so I decided to run Castel over that. But that's more when rank 4 engines were actually like a thing. Rafflesia. This also, I used to run this in Harpies. It would be like my first turn ideal play. My friends would hate this card, Rafflesia, because I would always bottomless people, I'd always night mold people, I'd always time space people with Rafflesia. It was a really good card back in the day. And like I said, a card that's not good anymore, but used to be a staple, absolute staple in rank 4 decks was Castel. This is unbanned now, so I can actually run that if I ever wanted to. So I actually have the original Utopia of the Lightning from like the thing that you had to go buy for like $10. And people would go and buy like 10 from a store and then sell Utopia of the Lightnings online for like $30, I think, because back then he was like a rank 4 staple because he was basically a game. Yeah, these are a bunch of Harpie cards. Some fusions. I do have the Neo Blue Eyes Ultimate as well as Twin Burst, as well as Buster Blader. If you know, I'd run Buster Blader. So on this page, there's a really, really interesting card. So like I said, I'm kind of a casual player, and I'll be the first to admit it. This is an ultimate rare Solemn Strike. And I actually got this in like one of the few tournaments I played in at Epic Cards and Games. I forgot what city it's in, but it's in Texas. It's where I live. And I lost in the first round to a Zodiac player, and I was using Blue Eyes Buster Blader, but they gave you a pack just for entering and participating. And I got this card. I pulled this card, and a lot of people were just like, oh my god, trade me, and stuff like that. And at the time, I think it was around $70, but I've never once used it or ran it in any of my decks, except for Harpies. But yeah, Ultimate Rare Solemn Strike. So some Blue Eyes Toons, 3 Blue Eyes Toon Dragons, Secret Rare, Red Eyes Darkness Metal. Now we get into the Harpie cards. So Harpies were something I was playing around with new support. When me and my friends first got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, Harpies were actually like my best deck. They were always basically the deck that upset everybody, just because I kid you not, I think I ran 21 traps in that deck. I ran so much back row in that deck, and including Rafflesia. And my friends just hated it, including this card. This card is great. And I'll always remember Harpie Queen. Where is she? Yeah. So I was dueling my friend in the finals of our casual tournament amongst just friends. And I had beaten my friend who'd used Cosmo. I had beaten my friend who used, I think it was Hieratics. And then in the finals, I think I was playing my friend David, who was using Black Wings. And we were just top decking. I had like 1,100 life points. He had 1,900 life points. And I top deck Harpie Queen, and I summoned it and I attacked for game for 1,900. And that was like one of the only tournaments I won amongst our friends. It was great. So 3 Secret Maxi, unfortunately banned now. Got some Torrentials. This is actually the Labyrinth of Nightmare Torrential. Master Strict, great side deck card. Goes in match. Good. Now we get into my other classic cards. So these are all 3 starter deck Joey Red Eyes Black Dragons. We have the Blue Eyes Chaos Max. And finally we get to the Dark Magician page. You got to start off with 3 starter deck Yu-Gi Dark Magicians. Apprentice Illusion Magician. I have the actual Jump promo Apprentice Illusion Magician. These things were so expensive when they first came out, just because it made Dark Magician so much better back then. And so people had to get their hands on one. And I actually bought a membership just so I could get an Apprentice Illusion Magician, but then I had to buy 2 more online. Oh man, I think it was like $30 per copy, and that's why I'm saying like nowadays I would never do that. I would never spend $60 on cardboard. But back then I just realized how much I was passionate about the game. 3 Dark Magician, actually no, it's 2 Dark Magician Arcana, and the cool looking Dark Magician art from the I forgot what this is from. So rods, Dark Magician Circle, Secret Village. I don't actually run that anymore, but these are the secret rare versions. I think these are pretty expensive because this is still the highest rarity if I'm not mistaken. Secret Pot of Duality, Dark Magic Attack from DRZ. What is that from? I don't know, but it's Ultra and it's OG. Spellbook of Knowledge, Upstart, some 2 Scapegoats, and then you got the Eternal Souls, the Navs, and good old BLS. So BLS actually is my second favorite monster in Yu-Gi-Oh! Period, and I always loved running BLS in a lot of my decks, including Envoy. I think that, yeah, that pretty much concludes the classic monsters other than the Cyber Harpie Lady, the Instant Fusion, Toons, Summon Skull. But basically, I just kept this because these are the cards that I wanted to hold on to. And now that I've been working full-time and, just hopefully going to more med school interviews, I've had some more free time to where I thought I would just give a quick channel update on my life and then reminisce about these couple of cards. But I probably should, part with these. I do have a serious relationship with my girlfriend now, and I'm pretty sure if she found out I had this hobby, she'd not like it. So I probably should part with these. Comments in the sections of like which cards of these are actually valuable. I've heard this guy is pretty valuable now because of Guard Dragons, but I'm not really necessarily sure. Yeah, that's pretty much an update on the life of myself right now. Thanks. See you guys maybe in another vid. I have been playing around with the Dark Magician support on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro that just came out, so who knows? Maybe I'll make another vid in my spare time.